have talked about COVID hair fails when it comes to cuts, but color is a whole other story. And colorist Sharon Mudavanhu has seen her fair share of botched jobs since the salon opened back up. But luckily for all of her clients, she transformed hair horror into hair goals. She joins us now to show us how. Hey, Sharon, welcome to Cityline. And before we get started and get into sort of the horror stories, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I've been a hair colorist for over 20 years now, and I work here in Port Credit and Mississauga at Vivid Salon. And I am a brunette specialist, and balayage specialist. So I create hair that's really blended, that grows out really seamlessly.
That's amazing that you can actually be specialized in even the color of hair, and that's how you know, like, this is expertise. So let's get to the COVID hair horror stories. What have you been seeing a lot of?
Well, I've been seeing a lot of people using color from the drugstore, so commonly known as box dye, and the hair just going way too dark. Some people have been bleaching their own hair, and that's just caused some damage or some yellow or orange hair, just not beautiful hair colors. A lot of people, like you said earlier, cutting their own hair.
So now for the first hair transformation, you're going to show us the damage was done by your client going to a friend to get balayage. That's a tall order for a friend to do. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, her friend is a hairdresser, but I don't think that's necessarily what she specializes in. So my client came in and she had all these yellow chunks in her hair. There was some ashiness in through the ends, and it was just a mess and didn't complement her skin at all.
Can you walk us through what you do to take it from those chunky streaks to the aftershock?
Yeah, basically I have to almost comb through the hair and pick out each sections of hair to try and correct each part of the hair because there's so much happening in each spot.
Okay, and how long did that take?
She was in the salon for probably about 5 hours.
Oh, Lordy. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the takeaway information here. What do you want us to know about this transformation, or what not to do?
Don't go to a friend or somebody that doesn't actually specialize in the type of work that you're looking for. Don't go to the cheapest person in town. Find somebody that actually specializes in what you're looking for. And what we created for her now was, a beautiful, almost bronzy, brunette, blondie tone that works well with her dark skin tone. She's Sri Lankan, so that's absolutely amazing.
Okay, and the other thing you say is it's actually harder sometimes to fix a mistake than it is to just start from scratch.
Yes, not only is it harder, it's also more expensive because now you're paying twice. First for your first appointment that went wrong, and then second for the appointment to fix it, and the appointment to fix it is actually really pricey.
Okay, good to know. That should be a good deterrent. Your second model got herself into some trouble after bleaching her own hair. So tell us about this one.
Okay, so she was at home bored during the pandemic and found some bleach and decided she wanted to lighten a few pieces of her hair and, create some highlights. And she ended up with really orange hot spots in her hair. It was really blotchy. Bleach is definitely a no-no.
So talk to me a little bit about what you did to transform her.
Basically, I have to go through the hair, section by section, and I lightened her a little bit more because she's got this really milky skin tone, and the orange was just not complementing her skin tone. So I put in some lighter pieces, some balayage, a nice blend in through the top.
Now, any lessons we can extract from this situation so that if we get back into major isolation, this doesn't happen again?
Yes. Stay away from bleach. It is a chemical and it can be really damaging to your hair, or your hair can actually fall out. So leave the bleach to the professionals.
For sure. Now, to wrap it all up, what are your top 3 tips for our viewers for what not to do when you can't get to a professional stylist, Sharon?
Try not to, touch up your own. Like if you have grays in your hair and you feel like you need to touch them up, try not to do that, because what usually happens is the roots end up being too dark or too light or too orange. Instead, maybe put on a scarf or throw a hat on, just to cover up those roots.
Okay, Sharon, what do you have for your second tip?
Always go and see a professional that is doing work that you would like to see. So if you're seeing a colorist, make sure you've seen their work and you like the work that they're doing, and then go and see them. And then thirdly, don't cut your own hair.
Plain and simple, just don't do it. Put the scissors down, throw on a hat, and Sharon will be there on the other end of the pandemic for you. Great tips and jaw-dropping transformations. So anyone currently dealing with a COVID hair disaster, now you know where to go.